Coming up on Sbu TV, St. Bonaventure mourns a beloved friar, and the athletes continue the great energy drink debate. Hello and welcome to Sbu TV. I'm Conor Mooney.
And I'm Brittany Whalley.
Today we'll provide our regular newscast, plus we'll include several stories by students in the school's broadcast reporting class. Many of these reporters will join Sbu TV News next semester.
The St. Bonaventure community said goodbye this week to a beloved mentor, teacher, and alum. A 1985 Bonaventure graduate and former Clare professor will be remembered as a kind-hearted soul who left a footprint on many people's hearts. On the night of December 5th, Father Harry Monaco lost his final battle with cancer. In January 2011, Father Harry was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. During this fight, Father Harry continued to live his life with passionate courage and an underlying faith in God. In 2007, Father Harry returned to the Bonaventure Franciscan community to work towards a master's degree in Franciscan studies. In 2009, he was awarded his master's and delivered his final thesis titled Nonviolence in the Early Franciscan Movement from the Perspective of René Girard. From 2008 to 2010, Father Harry taught Cath Fran to the Bonaventure community. Many students remember Father Harry as not only as a professor, but an inspiration.
He would always bring in like cookies, homemade baked goods and stuff like that. And he just tried to make it a relaxed atmosphere, and he was a really good guy. He tried to make everyone feel comfortable.
A kind, loving man that was just open to anybody, and anybody that wanted to talk, he would give them his ear to listen to, and he was always there.
He definitely gave me a better understanding of what being a friar was all about, and definitely shed good light on friars. He put a good image out there as just like an accepting and kind person.
It was just a comfortable environment. He didn't act like, you know, he was a professor and I was a student. It was like we were on the same level, which is really nice. Like we were equals, and he would talk to me just like he would talk to anybody, which is great. He didn't hold anything above anybody, you know.
For Sbu TV, I'm Brittany Whalley. Local services for Father Harry will be held Monday, December 12th, with a University Chapel prayer service at 1 p.m., followed by burial at St. Bonaventure University Cemetery.
Two prominent college athletic programs had their foundations rocked by sexual assault allegations made against their assistant coaches. Mike Vitron attempted to take a look at how St. Bonaventure prevents situations like this from happening.
Penn State has long been known as a football powerhouse that did it the right way. Legendary coach Joe Paterno instilled a belief that academic success was just as important as athletic success. The integrity the university once stood for is now under fire, as former assistant coach Jerry Sandusky awaits more than 50 criminal counts stemming from allegations he sexually molested 10 minors. Many are wondering what the university did to investigate the situation. A similar situation is unfolding just a few hours up the road. Bernie Fine has been Syracuse University's top assistant basketball coach for much of legendary head coach Jim Boeheim's career. Fine has been accused by 4 separate victims of molestation starting as early as 1984. However, the actions alleged to have occurred to the 2 accusers that Onondaga County District Attorney William Fitzpatrick deemed credible happened outside of the statute of limitations. Therefore, Fine will not face state charges. He could, however, face federal and civil cases. Trey Didio, a native of Oneida, New York, said he went to Bernie Fine's basketball camp for 5 years in a row when he was younger.
Actually, the first thing I thought of was, wow, I went to this guy's camp, and then I kind of was shocked after the whole Penn State thing. Like, I don't know, I wasn't expecting it at all.
The situations at Penn State and Syracuse likely have universities across the country scrambling to come up with a set of policies and procedures for coaches, faculty, and staff.
The St. Bonaventure Athletic Department failed to respond with a statement on their policies and procedures on these types of situations, despite 3 separate requests from Sbu TV.
Nick Goodell, a native of the Syracuse area and director of the Bonabuddies Youth Mentoring Program, said that when dealing with children, it is important that their safety is priority number 1.
I'm just making sure that they have a background check, having their fingerprints done, and all the necessary steps to take all the precautions. And everyone should be able to be willing to do that if they have nothing to hide in that sense.
Didio agreed with Cadell and hoped that in the event of a similar situation, St. Bonaventure would handle things better than Syracuse and Penn State.
I mean, just like if something like that ever happened, I wouldn't want St. Bonaventure to make a rash decision.
Although the academic scandal that rocked the reputation of St. Bonaventure had vastly different circumstances than the ones currently playing themselves out at Syracuse and Penn State, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette recently published a story on December 4th drawing parallels between the Bonaventure scandal and Penn State's. Using University President Sister Margaret Carney as the top source in the story, the Gazette suggested Penn State take a similar, proactive approach to repair its reputation like Bonaventure did. For Sbu TV, I'm Mike Vitron.
Despite distractions, the Penn State football team finished its regular season at 9-3, while Syracuse basketball is off to a 9-0 start.
Recent reports show a link between energy drinks and many healthy risks in young athletes. Tyler Diedrich took a look at how St. Bonaventure's athletic program handles hydration.
The warnings seem to be everywhere. Physical activity and energy drinks can be a dangerous pair. In St. Bonaventure University's athletic training room, that message is reiterated.
We don't want athletes to be putting excessive caffeine into their bodies. We don't want to get the heart rate going higher than it needs to be.
Hobler says any form of caffeine the body intakes within a few hours of activity can lead to severe consequences.
That puts the heart at risk of, arrhythmias, which are, abnormal beats.
But not all athletes are getting the memo. St. Bonaventure soccer player Nick Perillo says he has a shot of the drink 5-Hour Energy moments before each game.
A few times I've been tired in games, and I feel like once I started doing that it actually helped, that I kept doing it instead. So I now still, if I'm feeling tired before a game, why not,
Perillo believes the consequences of energy drinks can be reduced by drinking plenty of the right fluids throughout the day.
It dehydrates you a little, but I drink so much water that I feel like water is like the biggest thing. Like everyone always laughs at me saying I drink a lot of water, but it makes up for it when you have an energy drink.
Ryan Doberstein is a professional jet skier and St. Bonaventure's club volleyball captain. He says he often uses energy drinks before jet skiing, but not before volleyball, though he's curious to try.
I would drink an energy drink to give me that boost that I really need for the time that I need it, but prolonged energy, I definitely want to keep myself hydrated with water, and I'll drink a lot of water.
Energy drinks, even small portions like this, can provide more than 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is almost the amount in a cup of coffee. But Hobler said athletes should stick to the basics.
We want them to load up on the water, fruit juices, orange juice, apple juice, lemonade.
Hobler said if athletes insist on using energy drinks in moderation, they should do it either well after or well before a practice or game.
You shouldn't be taking those for, a few hours, at least 3 hours before. Get it out of your system and let your body take over. We don't need stimulants in our systems.
For Sbu TV, I'm Tyler Diedrich.
Hobler said chocolate milk is also a surprisingly strong source of vitamins that can also give athletes an energy kick.
With hunting season underway, remember to be safe about it. Shannon Barry reports.
Hunting is no stranger to residents of the Southern Pier, but already this season several accidents have prompted hunters to review safety measures while in the woods. We caught up with Nick Brennan, who told us about a hunting accident he's heard of recently.
One of my friends teaches in the Randolph area, and one of the days she wasn't teaching, a stray bullet from a rifle went through the driver's window and just missed his head and went out the other window.
Sponsored hunter Josh Rosenzweig spoke about the most common hunting accidents he's heard of.
Heard instances of people falling from tree stands. That's probably the most popular. People getting shot from guns going off. People misidentifying targets and shooting a person instead of a deer.
We're here at the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, where Kenneth Baginski, the Sportsman Education Coordinator, describes a couple safety tips that every person should remember this hunting season.
The most important thing to do is when you get into a tree stand is attach your fall restraint system so that you don't fall out.
Baginski shared with us some other basic safety tips for every hunter to remember.
Always treat every gun as if it's loaded. Always keep the safety on until you're ready to fire. Most importantly, always identify your target prior to shooting. Make sure you know exactly what you're shooting at and what lies beyond it. Your bullet may travel a lot further than you expect it to and go beyond your target.
I'm Shannon Barry for Sbu TV.
Don't forget, the regular season ends December 11th with bow and arrow and black powder hunting available until just before Christmas.
Can pets improve the quality of our lives? Emily Tronetti looks for an answer in this story.
I have a cow, 2 of them. They're actually dogs, but they're more the size of cows because I love cows because I grew up on a farm. So they're Great Dane St. Bernard crosses.
Research shows that pets reduce blood pressure and heart rates in adults and reduce stress in both adults and children.
I feel like he can sense it too in me, like when I'm stressed. I could just go play with him. Or
dogs especially, they're the type that don't judge you. They're always happy to see you, so it's always great. Even maybe my girlfriend when I come home isn't quite as happy to see me, but I know that my dog will always be there and be happy to see me.
Dog owners, regardless of age, get more exercise than people who don't own pets.
I'm motivated more, like I go for walks more, I just am more active, which is always a great thing.
Research even shows that dog and cat owners are significantly more likely to survive heart attacks than non-pet owners.
Having the dogs and cats there right next to you is definitely something that improves your mood and your mental outlook.
I guess even just for my age, like it gives me a sense of responsibility and sense of just something to take care of, which is just, it's nice to have. And he definitely makes me happy, so he definitely improves that.
No matter what mood you're in, they're always right there by your bed. Motivates you to better health overall.
For Sbu TV, this is Emily Tronetti.
Just in time for the holiday season, a pet can truly be a life-saving gift. Our next story involves some loving animals who could be holiday surprises, and one special dog who has been living in the shelter since he was 6 months old. Sammy Kauffman reports.
The Cattaraugus County SPCA is home to a variety of cats and dogs of all ages, both young and old. Like Rudy, who's been living at the SPCA his entire life and has never known the joys of living in a real home.
Rudy has been living at the SPCA shelter for 9 years. The SPCA is a no-kill shelter that contains 103 dogs and 200 cats.
80% of the dogs here are running at large, running through the streets, through like Olean, the towns. And then the other 20% are abandoned by the owners.
The shelter contains a variety of animals from the smallest of dogs to the biggest of beasts. Ever wonder what happened to Rudy?
Yep, Rudy's going home December 17th. We're very excited about it because Rudy's been with us for a very long time. And he's going to a family up in Lockport, New York, who have been adopting animals from us for probably about 10 years now.
Rudy finally gets to experience life outside of a cage.
And everybody loves him here.
In the end, even old dogs need love too. And who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Sammy Kauffman with Sbu TV.
The SPCA is open 7 days a week and volunteers are always welcome.
Bonaventure students reach out to those in need of help. Lauren Caputi has the story.
My really good friends at St. Bonaventure, Patrick Hart, was actually diagnosed with a sickness and needed a bone marrow transplant last September to help save his life. He got the bone marrow transplant, he found a donor, and thanks to that, he's alive today.
St. Bonaventure has a long-lasting tradition of serving the community. Recently, SBU students have taken a step further in an effort to save people's lives.
In the past, Bonas has always done, through Scythe, a bone marrow drive with the blood drive. So this year we kind of did a little bit separately, its own event, and we got 40 people to do it, and it was really awesome.
Everyone knows, other cancer awareness events where you donate money. This is something where you can actually directly save someone's life.
It's really important because Bonas loves helping people. But I also think it's so important that we start spreading awareness about becoming a bone marrow donor, just because it's such a big deal. And if you do it, if you get swabbed and then you get picked, then you're automatically saving someone's life. And I think that's so amazing, and I think that's something that our whole entire community needs to know about. Because
Sbu Tv, I'm Lauren Caputi.
The students plan to run at least 2 more bone marrow drives next semester in order to get more donors, raise money, and save lives.
The St. Bonaventure's Bona Buddies program recently received a grant from the Buffalo Bills. Kayla O'Keefe takes a look.
Bona Buddies is a nonprofit youth mentoring program for high-risk children in the community. In early July, Bona Buddies director Nick Goodell submitted a grant request to the Buffalo Bills.
We submitted a grant saying kind of what we are going to be doing is giving the kids an opportunity of play, almost kind of like play for 60 minutes, giving them an opportunity to have that physical education component with our program.
Dr. Paula Scriba explained that the Buffalo Bills Youth Sports Foundation granted the program $2,500 to purchase new equipment to be used for fun physical activities.
Bucket games, new kinds of hula hoops, all different kinds of footballs. Here's another kind of bucket game, different kinds of Nerf balls, and just some really fun activities to engage. It's kind of like fun and fundamentals that the children are participating without even knowing it. They're having fun.
Bona Buddies was recently revamped into an after-school program, helping kids to grow physically, mentally, and socially. Due to the small budget allotted for the program, support from the community is key to keep the program running.
We need more community support to keep the program running, such as a large program like this, like the Buffalo Bills, and we're hoping for more. And this obviously shows people are willing to support us, and we're just hoping for more funding.
At the end of December, Goodell and Scriba will submit a report on the grant with hopes of renewal for the upcoming year. For Sbu TV, I'm Kayla O'Keefe.
To find out more information or see how you can get involved, visit www.bonabuddies.org.
Next, Sbu TV takes a look at how the Asia dance team is getting noticed on campus with their unique moves and costumes.
The Asia dance team is one of the most unique teams on campus.
We're quite an exciting group, very energetic, dynamic, I guess is a good way to describe them.
Last month, the team hosted a Diwali show to celebrate the Festival of Lights in India.
I especially hear about them in the context of Diwali when they have that festival every fall semester.
People about not just the festival, but the culture in India is to put on a show. We have a dance team, as you guys all know, and we, play some traditional music. We kind of have some fusion mixes so that, people can understand some of the words, and we have some hip hop mixed in with some Indian music.
People especially enjoy the team's cultural and colorful costumes.
We try to have costumes, well, some of them we get from India itself. So a lot of us do make trips frequently, and we bring back costumes and outfits that we just wear to our own function.
The team knows that their hard work and sacrifice pays off when they see the community enjoying aspects of their culture.
My favorite thing is just, when I looked into the audience when we actually put on our show this year, I could see people not sitting in their seats and dancing along with us in the music. And one of my professors actually told me that his daughter was running around the aisles in the quick carts just dancing. And I think that's the coolest part, to have people really appreciate something that you're showing them, and not just appreciate but take part in it. So that was really nice.
This is Molly Inglut reporting for Sbu TV.
Asia plans to incorporate even more styles of dance next semester. Having trouble getting home for the holidays? A group on Facebook might be your answer. Mike Colaianni has the story.
With a campus that is barely over a full mile square, living at St. Bonaventure University is not the kind of place that you need a car to get around. But that can change when it comes time to return home for breaks and holidays. Senior Sinead Coleman thought so too, and created the Bona's Carpool Network group on Facebook to help students connect with those who have cars on campus from similar areas to get home cheaply and safely.
I didn't have a car my sophomore year, so I needed a ride home. So I thought of this idea of creating a carpooling network on Facebook. I put it out and it just blew up. Not only was I getting rides, but other people were getting rides.
With gas rising to a national average of $3.26 per gallon of unleaded fuel, carpooling with friends and splitting the bill on gas is a great way to save money during this holiday season. Sinead likes to update the website frequently with interesting and informative information for students.
I try to keep it updated by either putting funny things on there, reminding people why they should carpool, or what's some benefits to it.
Students have been actively using the group since its inception, and is now up to 393 members. Senior Sam Dibble remembers using the group to help him get home to Salem, Massachusetts.
I just saw a few kids that were driving out towards eastern Massachusetts, where I'm from, and I was able just to reach out to them, and just like that, just a little money for gas, and got some good company on the way out there, and it worked out well on a couple occasions. And this way, everyone's on the same page, and everyone is able to either offer a ride or look for rides.
And what hopes does Sinead have for the group's future?
I would really like for the administration to pay attention to it. So having Res Life pay attention, and parking as well. Security could take advantage of those, and by also promoting it, using it for themselves, and using it for the students as well.
I'm Mike Colaianni, and this is Sbu TV.
The Bona's Carpool Network is public and open to anyone who wants to join.
Next in sports, highlights from 2 men's basketball road tests and a look at the man behind the Riley Center flags.
So, son, what you do in school today?
Well, first I went to spelling, and then that was over. And then study hall, and then that was over. And then it was lunchtime, so I went to lunch. And then I ate it, and then lunchtime.
The less art kids get, the more it shows.
And school's over, and now I'm here.
Are yours getting enough?
Sounds like yesterday.
Art. Ask for more.
Sbu TV Sports has a few St. Bonaventure men's basketball games to catch you up on. The team was in action on Saturday night against Big Four rival Buffalo. The Bonnies entered the contest with a 2-3 record, coming off of a tough home loss to Arkansas State. The Bonnies had a new starting lineup, starting sophomore guards Matthew Wright and Charlon Kloof. Junior forward Demetrius Conger got the momentum going with this big dunk. The Bonnies were able to cut through Buffalo's defensive 2-3 zone early in the game, making room for big man Daquan Cook to score in the paint. The St. Bonaventure bench helped out in the first half with this assist from Sbu Endoy and jumper from Davenport. Buffalo led 31-29 after a close first half, but St. Bonaventure comprised a 15-0 run against the Bulls to take control of the game and ultimately win 66-60. Senior Andrew Nicholson, who was suffering from bronchitis, had 8 rebounds and 23 points, leading all Bona scorers, 18 of which came in the second half.
The Bonnies headed to Illinois Wednesday to face the 22nd-ranked Fighting Illini. Wednesday night, the Bonnies headed out to Champaign, Illinois to take on the 22-ranked Fighting Illini. Andrew Nicholson, recovering from bronchitis after playing sluggishly in a couple of games, got the team going early in the first half, looking like his old self right there. But it would take a full team to hang with the Illini. Sbu Endoy, the freshman, getting the start over senior Daquan Cook, providing some quality minutes for the team. Here you see a nice jumper from him. Senior Mike Davenport made a pair of free throws to give the Bonnies the lead at the half. Second half, Bonnies start to pull away with the help of Demetrius Conger, looking great from mid-range, as you can see right here. But down the stretch for Illinois, it was Brandon Paul giving the Bonnies more than they could handle. Nicholson had a chance to tie the game with 16 seconds left, but the shot didn't fall. The Fighting Illini will go on to win this one, 48-43. The Bonnies will host Little 3 rival Canisius Saturday at 7.
Our next story covers the season-ending injury of St. Bonaventure forward Marquise Simmons and how the Bonnies must adapt just 4 games into the season without him. Josh Dubin reports.
After just 1 game, St. Bonaventure junior forward Marquise Simmons has found himself sidelined with a torn Achilles suffered in the home opener against Cornell.
The plan is to see if I can get a new year, but I'm similar to situations that I've been in the past, so I'm able to deal with it better.
Simmons normally offers a spark to the Bonnies' offense coming off the bench. In last year's A-10 win against LaSalle, Simmons scored a career-high 18 points and grabbed 9 rebounds.
Drive, kicks it back out to Conger. 8 on the shot clock. Outside, Simmons. That's a new career high with 15 points.
Yeah, and a confident jump shot.
The Bonnies forward is one of the emerging leaders on this year's team. And although frustrated with his injury, Simmons still attends all practices and games to support his teammates. The Bonnies are hoping that others will step up in light of Simmons' injury and hopefully help carry this team to a future NCAA tournament bid. The Bonnies must rely on depth and are expecting big play out of forwards Jake Hausnick, DeQuan Cook, Yusu Ndoye, and of course senior star center Andrew Nicholson.
The bright side of the situation is looking forward to getting stronger in rehab and being able to play and knowing that I'll be able to come back next year.
Marquise is optimistic about getting back on the court with his teammates and returning for his final 2 seasons with the Bonnies. He made it clear that he's not going to let this injury stop him from playing the game he loves. For Sbu TV, I'm Josh Dubin.
Simmons plans on being strong and ready to go next season.
What's the story behind the man with the international flags at the Riley Center? Ryan Lazo explored the answer.
The Riley Center has seen its share of influential figures. The Stith brothers, Bob Lanier, and now Andrew Nicholson. However, an Olean resident has made himself a part of tradition by sitting in this very seat for the past 13 years. Rex Marvin, or Flagman as he is known to the Bona faithful, attends each home game and waves flags of the respective nations of the players. Marvin says he has attended games since childhood, but the flag started with an Argentina native.
After dinner, I was talking to Patricio, and he said that one of the games his roommate had waved our Argentine flag, and I said, well, that's pretty cool. So I started a Patricio Prado fan club, and we got shirts and waved a flag for him and stuff like that.
The relationships he's formed with players is why Marvin continues to sit courtside for every game.
You come to a game and the players will acknowledge you and wave at you or whatever. And usually we stay afterwards and talk to them, and we've become real good friends.
After watching all of his teammates have flags waved for them, Marvin recalls Michael Davenport asking him where his flag is.
Michael and Andrew are good friends, and after one of the games, Michael was just kidding around, and how come all these guys get these international flags and I can't have a flag? So between the 2 games, I ordered a State of Ohio flag, and I went to the next game and I said, Michael, here's your flag. And he was bragging to all his friends he had his own flag now.
In a place named after Bob Lanier, it's Rex Marvin who is truly leaving his mark.
Marvin has
I just do it because I enjoy doing it. It makes me feel young.
For Sbu TV, I'm Ryan Lazo.
Marvin has become such a fixture within the Riley Center that the university covers the cost of his courtside seats. That's all this semester for Sbu TV. I'm Conor Mooney.
And I'm Brittany Whalley. From all of us here in the Coop Lab, have a Merry Christmas.